All right, listen up. Every single morning, the same crime happens. You're lying there, you're warm, you're comfortable, your blanket feels like a cloud personally designed by the universe just for you. Maybe you're even dreaming something actually good. And then it happens. That sound. Bzzz. The alarm. And your brain, which literally 1 second ago was traveling through some beautiful dimension, gets hit with a sledgehammer right between the eyes. You get up. You're a zombie. A full, certified, shuffling zombie. You walk to the bathroom and stare into the mirror at something that clearly just crawled out of a swamp, hair pointing in 17 directions, eyes like a boiled fish. And now you're already thinking, why am I so lazy? Why can't I just get up like a normal person? What is wrong with me? Now stop, because here's where it gets interesting. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You do not have a discipline problem. You are simply a human being that the system forced to live against their own nature. And today, we're going to break down exactly who invented this, why they did it, and what on earth we're supposed to do about it. Okay, let's hop in a time machine, about 300 years back. No light bulbs, no smartphones, no Netflix tempting you at 3 in the morning. It gets dark outside. You go to sleep. Simple, natural, obvious. But here's the twist that almost nobody talks about. Our ancestors did not sleep 8 hours straight in one solid chunk. Historians dug through piles of diaries, letters, and medical books from that era, and everywhere, the same pattern. People went to bed at sunset, slept for about 4 hours. Then they woke up, on their own, no alarm, naturally, right in the middle of the night. And you know what they did during those couple of hours of nighttime wakefulness? They chatted with neighbors. They read by candlelight. They prayed. They just sat by the fire and thought about life. An English doctor from the 17th century casually wrote about first sleep and second sleep, like it was the most obvious thing in the world. Nobody found this strange. This was simply how human beings worked. Then, after an hour or two, they fell back asleep until dawn and woke up genuinely rested. A historian named Roger E. Kirch spent 16 years studying this and found over 500 historical sources confirming it. Biphasic sleep is not a quirk. It is our biological baseline. Nature programmed us this way for thousands of years, and it worked perfectly. Then comes the 19th century, the Industrial Revolution. Steam engines, factories, and the piercing sound of the factory whistle at dawn. And suddenly, someone very wealthy needed workers to show up at exactly 6 in the morning. All of them. Every single day, at the same time, because the conveyor belt doesn't wait. The machine doesn't care that John is on his second sleep and isn't ready yet. The machine needs a living mechanism at a strictly scheduled time. And just like that, the single, uninterrupted 8-hour block of sleep transformed from a biological reality into the only acceptable way to exist. Factory owners pushed this idea aggressively. A good worker sleeps in one solid block at night and gets up when the whistle blows. Everything else was laziness and moral weakness, and this idea stuck. Hard. The church backed it. Newspapers repeated it. Even doctors jumped on board and started prescribing sleep schedules that looked suspiciously like factory timetables. Then, Edison's electric light bulb finished the job. Darkness was no longer a signal to sleep. You could work as long as you wanted, light up entire buildings, the whole night if necessary. And our ancient internal clock, the one that worked flawlessly for millions of years, suddenly became an inconvenient, outdated model that civilization had no patience for. So here's the thing. Every single one of us has a tiny conductor living inside our skull. It's called the circadian rhythm. It sits deep in your brain and knows very precisely when you should sleep, when you should eat, and when you should be alert. It reads sunlight and was calibrated by nature over millions of years of evolution. And this conductor runs on a different schedule for different people. There are morning people. They feel great at sunrise, pop out of bed at 6, and immediately feel fantastic. These people, by the way, are in the minority. And then there are night owls. And this is not a lifestyle choice, not a bad habit, not a character flaw. It is genetics. An owl's brain simply produces melatonin, the sleep hormone, 2 to 3 hours later than a morning person's brain. You cannot willpower your way out of your own DNA. What happens when you forcibly drag an owl out of bed at 6 in the morning? Pay attention, because what follows is a genuine internal catastrophe. The owl's body sincerely believes it is the middle of the night. The heart says, "Lie back down." The stomach says, "I'm still asleep." The liver says, "Who are these people?" And the brain simply refuses to boot up. Scientists call this social jet lag. It's like flying from New York to London every Monday and flying back every Friday. The disorientation, the fog, the inability to function properly. Except you're doing it without a plane, just because your alarm told you to. So what does the modern human do about this problem? Exactly. They walk to the kitchen and turn on the coffee machine. Then again an hour later. Then an energy drink at lunch. Then more coffee at 2 in the afternoon. And by 3 o'clock, they're only still conscious purely because of caffeine, running on fumes and stubbornness. The wellness industry knows this perfectly well and makes billions from it. Smart mattresses that cost a fortune, sleep tracking apps, melatonin supplements, eye masks, earplugs, white noise machines. None of these are real solutions. They are band-aids on an open wound that nobody wants to actually treat. But the worst part is the productivity cult that grew out of all of this. Bragging about how little you sleep has become a personality trait. "I sleep 5 hours and get everything done" is now a flex. Successful people don't rest, they hustle. And if you're tired, it means you lack discipline. You're simply not pushing hard enough. But science says the opposite. Chronic sleep deprivation is not just feeling groggy, it is a weakened immune system, memory impairment, increased risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and accelerated aging. Your brain literally loses volume from systematic sleep loss. You are not being productive. You are slowly and quietly dismantling yourself. So what do we actually do with all of this? First, and most importantly, stop blaming yourself. The fact that you struggle to get up in the morning is not a moral failure. It is a signal from your body that your biological rhythm does not match a schedule invented by factory owners 200 years ago for a completely different purpose. If you have any flexibility in your life, use it. Even 30 minutes difference in your wake-up time can dramatically change how you feel. Many companies are already understanding this. Google, Nike, and Ben & Jerry's all have nap rooms in their offices. Not out of generosity, because a rested employee outperforms a sleep-deprived one in every measurable way. A 20-minute nap in the afternoon is not laziness. It is a scientifically proven tool for cognitive recovery. Churchill napped every afternoon during the war. Napoleon slept wherever he could. Einstein treated his daily rest as completely sacred. Study your own rhythms. Spend 1 week observing yourself. When do you feel genuinely sharp? When does the fog roll in? When does your body naturally want to wind down? This is not mysticism. This is data about how your specific brain operates. Work with it, not against it. And here is the final thought I want to leave you with. Sleep is not wasted time. Sleep is the work, the most essential work your body does, repairing cells, consolidating memories, building your immune system, rebooting your nervous system completely. 8 hours in bed are not 8 hours lost. They are a direct investment in the quality of the next 16. The system spent 2 centuries convincing us that sleep is for the weak, but the truth is that listening to your body and giving it what it needs is the highest form of self-respect. So the next time someone tells you, "You can sleep when you're dead," just smile and go to bed. Because now you know something they don't.